guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. Look, I fixed the lighting. That only took, what, about a year? Anyway, we're heading to town today, but before we go, I want to go and check the nest. Today is the day that the hatching is supposed to start, so let's go check Ruby. Hey, Mama, you got any secrets under there? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look. Oh, it's still wet. Oh, good Mama. Good Mama. Oh, you're so proud, aren't you? All fluffed up. Yes. Good girl. This is her third clutch. You keep him warm. She's like, it's windy out. It's actually already crawling up on top of the other eggs. Isn't that amazing? Well, we'll have to wait till we get back from town to come check on you again. Yes. Just got home from town, so of course, first thing I want to do, look at this guy coming after me. Try and be a nice boy, Rusty. I'm busy. Want to check on Ruby, see if there's enough. Baby number 2. There were 2 eggs from the first day. I had already put the other ones in the fridge, and when I realized she was broody, and then 5 eggs from the next day, 1 got broken. So there's 6 eggs total this time underneath her. And baby number 1, get this gate out of my way. Oh, phone in the chicken poop. Ew. Hi, Ruby. Can I have a look? Oh, it's smelly from the eggshells. Can I have a look? Oh, he's getting all dry and fluffy. He's getting dried off. This one's kind of a, I guess it's a yellow, like a Rhode Island. Can I see your other eggs? We'll get rid of some shell. How about that? We'll get rid of some yucky shells. Have we got anybody else? There's another egg I can't see. Oh, this one. Oh no, that's a piece of the other shell on top of it. I'm gonna have to pull that off, I think. Okay, you can have that one back. She's like, what are you doing, crazy woman? There's one on the other side I can't see. That's by her left wing. Oh, are you hungry, Mama? Get you some skip the dishes. What, is there something wrong with it? Oh no, we'll put it in there and maybe it's just hatching.
Probably why it's stinks in here.
Yeah. See if it's just one that's hatching. Might be a dead one.
We just cut it out.
May not have been fertilized. Oh yeah, I think all the black liquid has drained out, and that's why it smells in there. Gonna have to clean out her bedding maybe. Had 1 dud. I might move her over here so we can clean out. Look at the baby now. Oh my goodness. Clean this out because I don't want her sitting in that stink for days. The flies are crazy here right now too, probably why. Well guys, as you can see, I have changed because one of the remaining eggs exploded on me. I don't even have the words to explain the smell, the grossness level. There just isn't any words. I mean, we were cleaning up the other one that had broken in there, and I'm thinking that's 3 out of 7 duds, because the first one that broke and Ruby was eating it, it was still yellow. There was no chick growing. So I'm really surprised. Some of these girls must be better at avoiding the boys than I thought. So, what I did was I moved her into, the flies are just swarming here too because of the horrid smell. I moved her into number 3 with her baby, put the eggs over here so I could put all new straw in there for her, clean it out. So when I moved the eggs back, one exploded right in my face. And I like having these at eye level for me because I can see everything. But yeah, when they explode on you, ugh, ugh, I don't know what to say. I was having such a hard time. Chris cleaned out that one that exploded and put more fresh bedding in for her, and I ran for the shower, washed my hair and everything because it was on my face. It was all over. I didn't get it in my mouth, thank goodness. But imagine my mouth was actually shut for a change. Anyway, she's all cleaned up and happy, and I'm sure she's glad to have that other stinky egg out of there and the second stinky egg. Now, I don't know which one it exploded. I was looking at them, and one of the ones from day one hadn't hatched, so maybe that was the dud. Either way, oh my goodness. I'm glad I didn't have the camera on. It was funny, but it's sort of like a really loud firecracker when they explode. And the one that I threw in the compost last year that was a dud was black inside. This one was more yellow. But yeah, the flies are just swarming here. I should have checked the eggshell from the other one to see what number it had on it, number 1 or number 2. But either way, my girl Ruby is happy, even if she had 1 or 2 babies like Hazel had the one time. She's a happy mama, and she's a good mama. So there's a lot of talk online about the hatcheries are actually breeding broodiness out of the hens, because of course they don't want you to be able to replace your flock for free, because this is kind of what you're doing. So anyway, this is her 3rd clutch. We had Hazel went broody once, and we gave a broody hen to our friends because we couldn't have 2 of them hatching out a clutch at the same time. So that's 3 out of 25 hens, 24 hens that we had that were broody. So not a huge percentage, but I just think that they're more valuable if you're able to do this, and I'm hoping that her offspring will have that tendency to go broody too. You know, you can only hope. But either way, I love this process, and I just love the whole hatching and watching her with her babies, and it just makes me happy. She's holding her mouth open, so she's a little hot right now, but probably enjoying the fresh air. I'm going to leave this door open even though I worry about the baby. Look, she's so funny. You want to know what she's doing? She's so happy to have her baby. I moved the baby first into the other box, and she was quite happy to be moved just as long as you move her with her baby. It's when you touch their babies or move them away from them that they get so upset. Hey, Mommy. Yeah, you're a good mommy, aren't ya? I think I'll go get her some food too. Anyway, I might as well do a little update on the garden. Bob and Rita's, our friend's garden, is way ahead of ours. So many of my friends, we weren't that late planting, but you can see the corn. This row is turnips. Something's eating the leaves. I gotta look online. This was the row of peas that I replanted. Nothing came up in this row, so a week or 2 later I planted another package, and look at them. They're just a little behind these ones. Carrots are coming up great. Now the potato patch is doing really well too, but again, our plants aren't as mature as other people's. Again, we still ended up with some big thistles. I wanted to get through here and pull out the biggest weeds, but just we're kind of crunched for time now, but I still think we're going to have way more potatoes than we need. So you can see we've cleaned everything away from the front of here. We've cleaned everything away from the other side and the other side of the old sea container, and we've leveled up the blocks yesterday. So one can is going here, one can is going here, and then the one with the red door is coming up to here with the back of it resting on that one. So this one won't be here. That 20-footer staying where it is. This one is swinging over behind. And what we've done is moved a lot of the stuff over to here, so it's not touching, it's not against the sea can. And we have turkeys and chickens absolutely everywhere now. We've already harvested over 2 pounds of Saskatoons, and you can see they're probably ready to pick again. Look at how many dark ones there are. So excited that our neighbors actually told us we had Saskatoons. These fat things are due to be butchered, but that's going to have to wait till next week. Look at them. They're like lumbering giants. Mostly the roosters that are so huge, of course. So we've got the windows. We had to move all the windows over to here. That's why my arm is all bruised up. Couldn't figure out what it was from, but it was because I had my hands behind my back carrying the front of the window. So we've got some of them here, some of them here. So we picked all of these bushes clean already, and we're thinking, yeah, last year was the first time we picked them because our friends told us we had them. We didn't know. You can see how I think these are even bigger and better than our first picking off these bushes. So, and there's just a massive pile of bushes up at the front of the property. So, huge bonus. I'm going to make jam with haskaps, Saskatoons, and currants again this year. But I mistakenly put pectin in them last year. You don't need the pectin because of the haskaps have so much pectin. So these beams here are actually what the old sea can is going to sit on, which is good. It's sunk into the ground, so it needed to be boosted up anyway. It's going to be up on this. That's going to be the level of the other ones, so that's how high they're going to be. Forgot to open the greenhouse. I better do that. What do you want, fatty? Better not be coming to peck my toes. That's a no-no. Of course, there's just chicken poop everywhere. Not getting much hammock time these days. This cherry tree, the sour cherry tree, you can actually just in the last day they've gone darker. This is a wonderful healthy tree, even though we're not going to get enough to even make a pie, but it's the best so far, best year so far, and the tree looks absolutely fantastic. It is actually time to take this bucket off my tree, but again, that's going to have to wait another week. We're at the 8-week mark now, but another week won't hurt. The chickens have been eating all the tops off my onions, which makes me really cranky, especially the ones that are green onions. I think that one, that's the part I want to eat. The apple trees are doing fantastic. Again, we pruned these really heavily, so we might get less apples this year, but they are looking fantastic. And this one, the new tree, isn't doing as well for apples anyway. When we cut a branch off of here, I'm kicking myself because I should have put one of those little buckets on it. It was all the way to the top of the tree, so it was basically a 5-foot tree, and we chomped it instead of putting a bucket on it to get a new tree. This one is also got, this is a different tree, and I wish I could, I know I made a list, a chart of the orchard. If I can find it, I'll know what these apples are, because they are different than the Honeycrisp. But again, we're going to get some decent apples off this one. And the trees we thought were dead are not. So, the rhubarb is coming up really well since I put the manure on it. And I put manure on the haskaps too, but they aren't doing so good, especially the two on the end. We'll see what happens next year. Another gooseberry bush, so I got 4 of those now. They're doing fantastic too since I put the manure on them. And these 3 haskaps were the biggest, and they're doing great too. So, all in all, pretty darn happy. Those are the currant bushes out there, one and then one over by the fence. And I've got the branches pushed down in the ground to make new plants, and my raspberry bushes are kind of going cuckoo now too. No raspberries, but they're doing really well and looking really healthy. So these, my peppers outside, the chickens have been attacking them too. And again, if you've seen previous videos, I take the top of the pepper plant off, and then it all, I was wondering what the noise was. Just chickens everywhere. As soon as you take the top off the plant, it bushes out everywhere, and now I'm getting blossoms on there too. And only 2 peas came up in this pot, so I planted more, and now they're all coming up. So I'll get the vine growing on here, move it into the greenhouse, and then we'll have peas when they're moved into the greenhouse. Look at this. These are my purple onions and they chopped the right off. I'm going to have to get some chicken wire around this. Can't see because it's, oh my goodness, it's too hot in here. I forgot to open this before we went to town. My camera defog. It's actually past 120 where the thermometer ends. So, whew, my goodness. Oh, let's see if I can get it now. Yeah, it's still buried, hasn't gone down yet. I opened the doors. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's hot in there. Look at these guys, they're going in the shade anywhere they can. This has worked out really well. We were worried that they weren't growing for about a month after we let them out to free range, because of course when they're not free ranging they're just sitting there and eating all day long. That's all they do. But we've had so many grasshoppers this year and they're just feasting on the grasshoppers and they've gotten really quite big. The hens are behind, so what we're going to do this year is 1 week butcher the roosters first, and because we find it too much to do in one day anyway, or maybe the next day do the hens, or maybe let the hens grow for another week or so afterwards. Get really nice big birds. Even with the door open, it's dropping very quick, slowly. I transferred some of my lemon and lime trees into here. It's looking a little peaked, lost all the leaves, but there's a lemon over there. And this one is, what is it? Meyer lemon as well. Now, the two that were in the same pot together, the Meyer lemon and the lime tree, are looking really sorry. For some reason, they planted these in the same pot and the trunks were like touching. They were so close. So of course, cutting the root ball apart to get them in separate pots was really tough, and I kind of had to just chop at it. So they did lose a lot of leaves, but I think they're okay. There's still some green leaves and they're not dead. So I think they'll do better in the big pot. This key lime has limes here. There's one hanging over here. This was the first one. It's just covered. This is the one that's done the best, and this is the one that I lifted out of the shallow pot. There's lots more coming. Lots of little ones here. So it's doing really well. And the herbs, I got to get something done with them. My pineapple tree experiment is a fail. They're just rotting. I don't know what I did wrong there. They make it look so easy in the videos. This is the other lemon tree, the Eureka lemon. My camera keeps shutting off. I think it actually might be the heat. It's still, what, 114 in here. The door's open. I was saying this is the Eureka lemon tree, and the odd thing about it is the blossoms are all down at the bottom, which is really funny. But you can see lemon there, lemons here, lemon there, there, over there. So tons of lemons on there, and this one had tons of blossoms, but I'm just starting to see lemons on it now. This one was just covered in blossoms and new growth. So they'll need some time to recover. The peppers, and these are the ones that I planted from the seeds that I saved from peppers in the kitchen. I've never bought pepper plants or seeds, and I've got just tons and tons of blossoms. And again, these ones I all chomped the top off the pepper plants too, and then they bush out every. Camera turned off again. This actually, I did buy this little jalapeno plant because it was on sale. Look at that cute little jalapeno, and some of them are coming on red. And then I planted a couple of seeds to get another jalapeno plant, and it came up. So, but these are getting tons and tons of blossoms now, and so I should have peppers pretty shortly. And they will just stay here, and they'll get transferred into the greenhouse when it gets built. So the pressure is on. Serious pressure to get that greenhouse built. We probably won't get the other side of the tiny house done this year because the greenhouse is going to take the priority, of course, because I got to get these trees inside for the winter, and we've got to figure out the logistics of moving stuff around. And oh my goodness, It is so hot in there. But you know, all in all, pretty happy with everything. Okay, I did get a message on the screen that time that the internal temperature of the camera is too high, and that's why it keeps turning off. So I'll just go over here in the shade, see if that makes the camera happier. But anyway, this is going to change quite a bit. The other thing Chris is doing, he's got the plumbing, he's going to put a hookup under the kitchen sink so we can run hot water to this outdoor tub, because we've both had live blood analysis done, and we're going to start doing detox baths outside just because. I mean, I have the tub. I want to make an outdoor bathroom out of it, and it's just... So I will go back to videoing later because the camera just still keeps going off even though I'm standing in the shade and it's much cooler here. Look at the chicken under the tub too. So yeah, as I was saying, we're going to use the tub for outdoor baths. It's just so beautiful out here. There's nobody around, so why not? And it's just such a wonderful old tub. Finding the 6-footer was huge. I mean, just having that instead of a 5-footer makes such a huge difference. So, love that tub. I've used it a couple times already and I just love it. I'm going to go sit down for a bit, and then we've got to get some more stuff done around here. I will check on Ruby later and give you more of an update on her and the babies. Hopefully there will be more babies and not more exploding eggs. Hi, Mommy. She hunkered down when she saw me. Hi, Mama. Can I look at your baby? I don't want any more babies exploding on my face. Where's that little fluffer? Oh, look. Look at that little peeper. So you got 2 more in there. I lose count. So I put some grower feed in here so it'd be safe for the baby to eat. Look at that little face. But Mommy's gonna eat it all. She's starving, and she's probably more reluctant to leave the nest now because she's trying to keep the baby warm. He's still fluffing up. Get her some more water too. You're so hungry, aren't you, Mama? Look at it, it's pecking at the straw already. Isn't that cute? I dipped his beak again. Don't poop in the water. Mama's hungry. Yes, Mommy's hungry. Aww. Still not completely fluffed. I'll put it back underneath. There, nice and warm. She is starving. I got water here for her too, so she'll be fine. I'll leave her alone for a little while. Oh, you're such a good mommy. Yes, you are. Oh my goodness, that's Fred again, isn't it? Is that your baby? Oh my goodness. What a good baby. Yeah, even the baby thinks it's going to be hard to sleep with all that racket. Hey? Can I check your other eggs? At the risk of them exploding in my face? Look at this. Oh my goodness.